All right. Ooh, okay, there we go. Good morning. Good morning, replay viewers. How is everybody this morning? Welcome to Coffee with Kelly. I don't know, I think I'm getting a little bit of a late start this morning. I had to take my husband to his truck. He's a truck driver. Had to take him to his truck this morning. And so that made me a little bit late, but not too late. We're still good. All right. Some of you may not know who I am. This might be your first time with Coffee with Kelly. So let me just introduce myself. I am Kelly Chevalier, and I am your Retire by 40 strategist. I transform 9-to-5ers into 7-figure CEOs. So if you are looking to live your life with purpose, wake up every morning excited and thrilled to get started with your day, then you're in the right place. Good morning, Key. I didn't see your name there. Please tell me how. Is that Al? What's up, Al? How's it going? Please tell you how. All right, so look. Hey, Key. All right, so I got it right. Yay. Some of you want to know, well, how do I do that? I'm going to tell you how. You're not going to get every single step by just coming in and watching 1 hour Coffee with Kelly. Not going to happen. It takes a lot more than 1 hour. So I'm always preaching about consistency. That means you've got to be consistent too. I'll be here every morning at 8 a.m. You got to show up too. I'm going to be giving you the stuff that you need. And once you lay it all out, put it all together, you'll have everything that you need for free. If you're not a consistent person, hi, what's up? If you're not a consistent person, Al, then what you'll need to do is catch my replays, or you might end up having to buy my course. But look, I'm going to give it all to you here for free. Little by little, chunk by chunk, because otherwise it'll be too much information and your brain will say, oh my God, I've got to conserve energy. I can't take it all in at once. I'm going to have to shut this down. And I don't want that to happen. So I can only give you little bite-sized pieces. What about you? What about me? Ask me a question. Ask me a question, I'll answer it. What's up, Andy? Good morning. I will give good info. I always do. And if I'm not giving you good info, it's because you're not asking. Because if you ask, you shall receive. But I can't, I don't know what I don't know. If you don't tell me what you need to hear, then I don't know what you need to know right now. That's why commenting is so important, right? What's the topic? Okay, the topic today is authenticity versus telling your business. So I love Brene Brown. I think she's amazing. Ever since I saw her on TEDx, How Get Capital Start. Okay, good. We'll talk about that. I love Brene Brown, and ever since I saw her on TEDx, I've really been considering what she said about being authentic. Yeah, TEDx is amazing. If you just want to get great information about anything, go to TEDx.com and just watch some. Just take some time and just watch some of those videos. They are truly amazing. Al, what did you say? I'm going to take a note. You said you wanted to learn how to get startup capital. Is that right? I'm taking a note here. Startup capital. Okay, so Brene Brown, her breakout TED Talk was on vulnerability, and authenticity was sort of a subset of that. Okay, thanks, Al. I got it. And she's like, to be vulnerable or to be authentic is to be vulnerable. But it helps us as human beings relate to one another, to accept your vulnerabilities and to share them with others. So that got me to thinking about a few things. And the more you get more you dive into being a CEO of your own company, the more you're going to hear about authenticity, being who you are, being upfront, truthful, and, disclosing the things that have happened to you that have made you who you are today. You're going to hear it all the time. Everyone's going to start with their background story. Everyone. You can go on Tony Robbins, TonyRobbins.com. You can go to his website and you're going to see a great big thing about his backstory. Oprah has a backstory. Everybody has a backstory where they share some sort of trauma or something that they've been through in order to help inspire people and bring folks into their tribe. All right? That's a good thing. Being authentic is a good thing. Just telling your business, not a good thing. But what's the difference? What is the difference? And that's what we're talking about this morning. How do you know that? Where do you know to draw the line between being authentic and telling your business? And I would say, if you're telling your story and the story's intention is to shed light on something, to inspire someone, or maybe to just empower someone with your story, then that's being authentic. If you're telling your story because you're venting, and it really has no connection towards the audience, it's just you sharing your story with no point, then you're just telling your business. That's how you draw the line. So there's a lot of crazy, sick people in the world who will get off on your tragic story. And what I don't want are for people to come out into the world and say, well, this happened to me and that happened to me, and then just stop there. Okay? It needs to be a testimony. So when you have a testimony, it's saying, my life was tested in this area, but I have transformed because of it. And this is how I transformed, and this is how you can use what I learned to make transformations in your own life. To tell what made you start a business, testifying, yes. Yeah, so your story should be a testimony to something. If it's not a testimony, then you're just telling your business. And that's too much information, and we're really not interested. If we all walk away worse off having heard your story, we're feeling down and we're feeling like there's no hope for us either, that's not a testimony. Your story needs to inspire, encourage, teach. It's got to do something for the audience. It can't just be your story for story's sake. Does that make sense? Give me some hearts if that makes any sense, what I'm saying. So, okay, good. Because there's incredible power in sharing your story. So I encourage all of you, if you're going to start a business, to start with your story. Just write it out. Just, start from your earliest memory and write out as much as you can remember. And what you're going to find is you're going to see trends of where, I kept doing this over and over and over again. Why am I doing that? And see, now you're going to learn, okay, this is how I was before. Then I had an aha moment, and this is how I've improved my life. Now I'm going to show you how you can do the same. If you can do that, then you're a problem solver. You're a CEO. You're helping people. You're changing your story into a transformation device versus, hey, here's just what happened to me. I need somebody to feel sorry for me and hear my story. That's just telling your business. And we don't want people just telling their business, It's entertaining to some degree, but there's no purpose there. Making your story into the backdrop of your business, it takes some craftsmanship. It takes a little work. But if you start with just your earliest memory and writing all that out, then you can do this sort of oscillating effect. And if I can find a piece of paper here, I'll show you what I mean. You do this sort of oscillating effect with your story. I got a piece of paper here, so I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in a second. This is what truly makes telling your story powerful. This is being authentic. And you can actually, if you look up one of these TED Talks, this is where I got this from. This is why I love TED Talks so very much, because the information is extremely valuable. So let me show you this little diagram I'm making here. Maybe I should flip the camera around. Okay. All right. See what I'm looking at? Look. So this is an oscillating effect. So basically what happens when you're telling your story, you'll say, okay, something happened here at point A early in life, right? And so I was going through life. Everything was good. And then this thing happened and I plummeted, right? Life got bad, because this is how life works. Life got bad. Well, then I started learning from it. I did a few things like, okay, maybe I went to school. Maybe I started a new job. Maybe I met the right guy or girl, and life got good again. But then I made the same mistakes that I made over here, and then I plummeted again. But I came back in a different way, and now I'm here. Do you see? This is life. It plateaus, and then you have downs, and then you make a bridge, and then you go up, and you make more bridges, and then you fall down. And this is just how life works. But at these low points, this is where all of the learning occurs. So when you're telling your story, make sure that you're focusing on the learning that happens in these points. Make sure that your audience understands there's opportunity and hope at the high points. Your story should not look like this. Okay? Your story should not just be, if your story is just looking like this, I'm up here and I'm just down and now I'm this. That's not a compelling story. That's not doing anything. This just means, oh, my life was great, crap happened, and now my life is crappy. That's not a compelling story, right? So this is just telling your business. So a lot of us get stuck in this kind of a story, right? They say, oh, my life was great. Then I met this guy who was totally awesome. He was amazing. And then he abused me for 10 years. And then my kids got sick. And then my mother passed away. And now I'm on welfare. And, life is horrible. But God's blessed me. I'm done. See how that story went? That's not compelling. That's not a backdrop to a business. You can't use that. You've got to use a story. And this is what I mean by being authentic, because that would just be telling your business. Okay, great. You can't keep a man. All right. That's all I'm going to get out of that. But I want a story that's compelling. I want authenticity, but I need it to be a testimony to something that I can do myself. So in this model, I'm saying, this was life happening and it has its ups and downs. But in the down part, I learned something. And on the upward part, I managed to create something, a tool, or maybe some sort of revelation, something that I could use to help more people. But God doesn't stop there. He sent me through another valley of life, another valley where I could learn even more, so that I could help even more people. And I learned this thing. And then life was good for a while. And do you see what I mean? This is a compelling story. It gets people involved in your authentic self, and it gives them hope and a mission and empowerment. Because if you can come out of this valley and do great things, and things happen to you again, but you come back up again, then it has a pattern of shit happens, but I will succeed. Do you see that pattern? And that's life. That's everybody's life. And everybody can relate to that. What do you recommend when people were on top? How to put the fire in them to get inspired where they are to be? I think I need you to ask that question again. I'm not very clear. I think, okay, so how do you get people to be inspired when you're at the top of your game? Is that what you're asking? Inspiration comes really from this part. When everybody's doing awesome, that doesn't inspire people, because the way the brain thinks is, oh, well, you were just able to do that because you were rich. Let me flip this around. Okay. If we just told Oprah's story and we didn't start with the fact that she was molested as a child, if we didn't start at the fact that she didn't speak for the first years of her life, if we didn't start at the fact that she was just a poor girl growing up in the South, if we didn't have that part of the story and all we knew was Oprah was amazing and she was the richest black woman in America, if we started there, people would go, oh, well, that's nice for Oprah. She had opportunity, or she is genius and I don't have that opportunity and I'm not that smart and I don't have, people will just say, well, that's not me. And then they'll move on. They'll clap their hands for her, yay for Oprah, but how does that affect me? But when we start the beginning of the story and we see her rise and fall, we see that, at some point she had the same issues that we have. Like she struggled with weight. Who doesn't struggle with their weight? She struggled with fitting into the Caucasian image. She struggled with, should I wear my hair straight or should I have it curly? We all struggle with that. We all struggle with, are we presenting ourselves the way the world wants to see us, or are we presenting our true self? We all struggle with that. If we look at Oprah's story from start to finish, we see that she had those same struggles and yet she is victorious. That's a compelling story. That's not just telling her business. If all she talked about was why she never married Stedman, that would be telling her business. You see what I mean? Because that doesn't give any value to us. I mean, I'm just assuming that her story would go something like, well, I didn't marry Stedman because he might take half my money. I don't know. But I'm just saying that would be telling her business. But telling her whole story, huh?
Her being accepted in society for what when she got the money.
Right. Yeah. Being accepted. Yeah, exactly. Like being accepted because she,
and that stereotype,
and the stereotypes. I mean, right. So, but that's something we all struggle with, is like just acceptance and overcoming stereotypes. And if you read her story, she struggled with those things too. But the good thing about it is they said good morning to you, cousin. She said good morning, Andy. But we realized that by sharing her story that those are things that we don't have to be afraid of, because she wasn't afraid of it. Your challenges are the foundation of your success, not the antithesis. Absolutely right, Charles. Not the antithesis. That's what makes you who you are. So what I want people to see is when we're in that low part, I don't know if you can see it now, but when you're in this low part of your story, recognize that is an opportunity. It may be a low part, but you're not going to stay there. That's the opportunity to create something magnificent that will pull you out of that. So when you look at companies like Starbucks, or companies like Lee Iacocca was the CEO of what? Was it Lee Iacocca was what? Chrysler? Chrysler. Yeah. So you look at the Chrysler story with like Lee Iacocca. You look at Microsoft. All of these companies, Chrysler, all of these companies had extreme low points. And it was in that low point that innovation occurred. It was at that low point that they were able to be more creative. It's how we get through those adversities that make us a better person. And in business, you welcome a low point. That's a challenge. That's an opportunity to create something that nobody else has thought of, that you wouldn't have even been thinking about had you not been in that low point. All you do is you just set yourself a timeline. So if you're at a spot in your life and you're like, things are pretty bad right now. It's looking pretty bad. Now is your chance to be creative and say, like we talked about last night, I've got $5. How do I turn that $5 into $500? That's the opportunity when you're at the lowest point of your story. You can't appreciate the high if you never go through the lows. Absolutely, Tommy. Absolutely. You can't appreciate it, and you can't teach somebody else if all you do is just stay in your low. You can never teach anybody if you just stay in your low. So the point is, you've got to have that up, the down. This is just life. This is not something you have to create. This is life. And my low might be different from your low, and your low might be different from somebody else's low. That's okay. That's okay, because there's always going to be an audience that can relate to your low and your high. Okay? So when you're telling your story, think about that. How is it affecting the audience? How can I use this story to grow something, to inspire someone? So anytime you're talking to people and you're just talking, you're just telling your business, that's just gossip. That doesn't help anybody. Okay? If you're sharing your story because you know you can say, well, you know what? I remember when I was there and this is what I did. This is how I got out of that situation. Here's how you can do it too. Okay, now we're being authentic, which is powerful. So what happens when you're not authentic? What happens when you don't share the low parts of your story and your story is just all high, just all straight across? Oh, I was the manager of such and such a company, and then I got promoted to so-and-so, and then I was elected to blah, 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 and I received the such and such award, and I'm amazing. What happens when you tell that kind of story? Yes, how I struggled, solved it, and now helping others. Exactly, Coletta. That's why you're doing what you're doing, because you had a struggle, and now you can help other people. But right, if you go, and this is so important. When you go into a job interview and all you talk about are your accolades, you most likely will not get hired, because people don't want people who've never been through something, because employers understand that there's going to be problems. There's going to be situations, and they hire leaders who know how to get out of those situations, who can think creatively on the fly and be flexible and come up with something that will bring the whole unit up. So when you go to an interview and all you talk about, yes, surround yourself with positive mentors. It's important to be transparent. Yes. And you go on an interview and they ask you a question like, well, it says here you were fired from your last job. This is authentic. This is how you answer that question, and you're just telling your business. You would say, yeah, I was fired. My boss was horrible. They wouldn't let me do this. They didn't let me do that. They didn't like this. And then so, I got fired. It was really for no reason. That's just telling your business, okay? Now, this is how you answer that question, and you're being authentic. You would say, you're right. I was let go from that position. I was let go because I was in a situation I did not quite understand. However, after being released from my position, I was able to have the time to research it more, gather my thoughts, and now I'm more ready than ever to do that particular job better than anyone that I know. That's being authentic. It's owning up to the fact that, yeah, you were laid off. Yeah, you made a mistake, but I'm learning from it, and I'm better now than I was before. Employers, as well as anybody else, can appreciate that because we've all been there. Being authentic does not hurt you. If you made a mistake and you can admit to it, that's being authentic. Something traumatic happened in your life and you can share that story in a way that inspires people, that's authentic. Exactly. Boasting is just walking in the room and saying, I'm amazing. And then you stop right there. That's okay. So you think you're amazing. Why? How do I know you're amazing? The only way I'm going to know you're amazing is if I know you've been through something and you were able to pull yourself out, because the majority of people can't do that. And that's the truth. The majority of people get stuck in their muck. They get stuck in their situation and cannot move. I know at least 6 people like that right now that are stuck in a place and just can't. I don't care what I try to do for them, with them, or to them. They just will not take action and move beyond that low point. And when you're in that low point and you stay there, you're not helping anybody and you're not helping yourself. So that's what I meant by being authentic versus just too much information. TMI, right? Did y'all get that? Was that helpful at all? I need to know. Did that help anybody today? Let me know. I'm waiting. Want to know if it helped you. Here's my cup. Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. So Tony says yes. And he says yes. That helped you. Thank you, you two. Very informative. Awesome. I just want to know that what I'm sharing with you guys is helping you every morning. That's why I get up. So if you like what I'm saying, if you're enjoying what I'm putting out at 8 a.m. Monday through Friday, by all means, share this with your followers. Share this on Twitter. Share it on Facebook. Share it at your next networking meeting. Thank you, Coletta. Thank you. Share. Perigifts.com. Oh, also, yes, Perigifts.com. Also about that. So if some of you were on my call last night, I talked about how to do Facebook ads to turn $5 into $500. If you missed that, catch the replay. It's still up. But also email me, Keli at KeliChevalier.com. I'll be sending that out this morning, actually, as soon as I get off of this scope. Catch.me/Keli G. Chevalier. Yep. So if you're watching this now and you're like, oh, I want to know how to do Facebook ads so I can turn $5 into $500, then you need to email me, Keli at KeliChevalier.com, and I'll shoot that over to you. But you need to do it fast because I'm going to be sending out that email as soon as I end this broadcast. And today is a crazy busy day for me, so I will not be getting a chance to email that again later. So this is your opportunity to do it now. If you are watching this on the replay, Keli at KeliChevalier.com. Yesterday, we talked about how to turn $5 into $500. If you missed it, catch the replay. It said it has suspicious material. Well, that's weird. That is crazy weird. Well, I guess that's why you got to catch me live. I don't know why it said that. But anyhow, if it's on, maybe it's on catch.me. If it wasn't here on Periscope, maybe it's on catch.me. You can watch it there. If I still have it on my phone, yeah, I don't know. Maybe because we were in a restaurant. I don't know. I've seen people scope from restaurants before. I can't explain it, you know. That's a Periscope thing. What's up, Darren Monroe? Glad to see you are here with us. All right, but that's the end of this particular scope. There's Superwoman. Yeah, try catch.me and see if it's there. I wish I knew why it wasn't working, but you know, maybe Periscope still has some bugs they need to work out. I'm not sure, but look, if I still have it in my phone, because you know how Periscope can save your broadcast automatically to your gallery. If you didn't know that, you do now. If it's still in my phone, then I will post it on Facebook. I will post last night's $5 to $500. I'll post that on my Facebook page. So if you're not following me on Facebook, do that. It's Keli Chevalier. I'm Keli Chevalier everywhere. Like, it's so easy to find me on social media because it's always my name. So I'm Keli Chevalier on everything. So I'll post that, Andy. I'll post that for you. So Andy, look for it there. If you don't see it on catch.me, then look for it on my Facebook page later today. I'm going to try to get this done right now because, like I said, today's going to be crazy busy. Well, anyhow, Thank you, guys. Thank you, and ladies, so much for joining me today. Coffee with Keli. Gracias. Go out, be authentic in your day today. Be authentic. Remember, when you're sharing some part of your story today, you're sharing it with purpose. You're not just telling your business and gossiping. Nobody needs that. Share your stories with purpose to help someone. All right. You guys have a great day. Bye. Bye, y'all.